Hey Dan K Show fans, it's holiday time! It's the Thanksgiving special here with the Dan K Show staff. Gobble gobble folks, it's turkey time. Dan K Show coming up now. Hey Dan K Show fans, it's time for Dan K's 3 Things. A very special and thankful 3 things this week. Thing number 1, it's Movember folks, and the Charlotte Rush are rushing to try to get your money right now. They're trying to get your donations, they're trying to raise awareness and trying to raise money for cancer research, and incredible work done by those fellas. If you go to the Charlotte Rush's team Twitter page, they have links to this, and we're going to be putting them up on the Dan K Show as much as we can. We want to drive awareness for this great cause. We're going to talk about it a little later. Already over $5,900 raised, and mustaches galore. You got to love when these guys grow out the great mustaches. Thing number 2, you've got a friend in me? More like a pal, Lucas. That's the PAL NCDC squad. We were told to talk about it more by the PAL fans. They wanted us, they said, Dan, why don't you talk about us more? Well, guess what? When you win 2 out of 3, and one of those wins comes against the top Jersey Hitmen, who, until the loss, were in the top of the league here, but IHC has now passed them, as well as the Bruins, the junior Bruins. PAL comes out, takes 2 out of 3 from the weekend, and Caden Bailey. Wow, Caden Bailey, former Florida guy out of Estero, Florida. He saves 14 out of 14 in a loss coming off the bench and comes back the next day to go 48 of 49 in a 2-1 win over the Northern Cyclones. Caden Bailey coming at you big time. Thing number 3, 16U equals 0 losses. That's the Jersey Hitmen at 15-0-0 and the Boston Junior Bruins at 9-0-0, leading the North and South divisions respectively in the 16U level. And the Jersey Hitmen have 2 goaltenders under 1 goal against per game. It has been incredible work by both of those squads. If you haven't watched one of them yet, you better watch both. Dan K, Lucas Jones. Lucas, welcome to the show. I'm done talking. Time for you to start us off. You didn't have anything?
No.
That's perfect.
Welcome back, everyone. And like Dan mentioned in the open, we are going down south for Thanksgiving. Both of our families live in southern New Jersey. We live in northern New Jersey. And to stretch that metaphor out a little bit, Dan, let's go south with our analysis this week and head down to the Florida divisions. But first, let's make a pit stop in Charlotte.
That's a good call, Lucas. It's been fun down in Charlotte for both teams this year on the ice. Both teams winning in bunches, incredible seasons down south. A lot of great hockey in that Southeast division, both in the Premier and Elite divisions. But Charlotte Rush, as we know, the Carruthers family to do there with that organization, they're doing a little bit more off the ice, right, Lucas?
Absolutely. They've teamed up with the Movember Foundation to raise money for that charity, which helps to fund research and awareness and some early testing as well for different types of cancers that affect men all around the country, all around the world. The team has raised close to $6,000 so far. It's at the top of their Twitter page. It'll be pinned to the top of our Twitter page and our Facebook page as well. We totally support what they're doing, and it's a kind of a fun way to raise awareness and raise some money.
It is, and you know what I mean. It's a serious topic, and it's something that it's tough to bridge. With young players, these young athletes, these guys are in the prime of their lives. This thing may not always affect them directly, but it affects the ones we love. It affects the people we care about. It affects the communities out there that we're all playing hockey in, that we're hosting shows in. It affects a lot of people. And it's causes like this, it's things like this that really show you that these players are doing more than just becoming great hockey players. They're becoming great people, Lucas. And I hope you're getting out there. If you're watching us at home right now, wherever you're from, if you don't want to donate just to the Charlotte Rush, donate wherever you can. Get money. This season is all about giving. This season's all about raising money for different charities, raising awareness and raising hope for those out there who need it. And I really hope you guys can help out. Charlotte Rush doing a great job out there, Lucas. I'm thinking about going mustache just to support the troops out there.
Well, it'll be easy for you. You just have to shave off a little bit down here. I might have to get something more industrial strength to rock a mustache, but I know a few people who may not be happy with me for getting rid of the beard either.
Oh, producer Elena would not be happy if I went just mustache, but I may just do it. I love the look. If you want to see these gentlemen, we're going to keep retweeting them every time they put out that Movember post to raise money. We're going to post the link on the Dan K Show page at the Dan K Show. Make sure to follow us on Twitter to follow along. Click on that link. You can see some of the greatest mustache pictures of all time. Lucas and I will be voting on our favorite mustache when the end of the month comes up. We'll be picking our favorite Charlotte Rush mustache. If you have a mustache for Movember and you're not with the Charlotte Rush and you're trying to raise awareness, you're trying to raise money, or you're just trying to look great in a mustache, please send it to us here at the Dan K Show, at the Dan K Show, and we'll be happy to show off that incredible mustache prowess, because that's the best time of year for facial hair. November, no shave November, Brovember, the Movember. Greatest time of year. Great job by all these young athletes.
Absolutely. Well, let's continue this southern trip down to our ultimate destination, which is Florida. Again, another stretched out metaphor segue there. We are going to be down at the Florida Showcase. We're very excited about that. We're getting our travel itinerary together, and we thought, hey, what better way to showcase that than to showcase these Florida divisions before we get down there?
That's right. We're going to be going down to the Florida Showcase, folks. We're going to be down there dealing with some southern hospitality. We're going to be hitting the links. We're going to be checking out the beautiful, beautiful Florida weather in December. It's going to be so much nicer in Florida than it is in New Jersey in December. We're so used to going north in the winter and getting colder. We're finally going south. We're finally getting warmer. We're going to see some great, chilling hockey action down there. Going to get to cool off by the rink and then go enjoy ourselves by the pool at night, Lucas. It's going to be a fun trip.
It definitely is, Dan. But let's dive into these Florida standings. Now, you've got two Florida divisions, one in the Premier and one in the Elite. So we'll start with the Premier.
Yes.
So we've got Florida Eels, Tampa Bay Juniors, and Palm Beach Hawks taking up the 1, 2, and 3 spots. Florida Eels on top with a 14-6 record. My eyesight's not as good as it used to be, and I'm only 26 years old.
That is correct, though. 14-6. Locked in on it like a
Tampa
hawk.
Bay Juniors at 13-8, and Palm Beach Hawks at 12-5-3 with that 3 overtime losses. So a pretty tight race for 1, 2, and 3 in that division.
It's a great race, and leading the way are the Florida Eels, led by Frank Scarpacci. And I retweeted something on my own personal Twitter from Frank Scarpacci because of how incredible it was. It's Nikita Lopatin from Moscow, Russia. This is a young man that we have been talking about all year to each other, and we're finally putting that name on camera. 49 points thus far, 29 goals, 20 assists on the season. Let me give you this. Let me just make sure I'm getting this right. 10 goals, 5 assists, 15 total power play points this year. He's a special teams monster. Good luck with him. This kid might as well be called Alexander Ovechkin when you give him the extra man on the ice. And then you go to his last 5 games. His last 5 games. He didn't score 1. He didn't score 2. Not 3. I won't go LeBron and count through each one because it's a lot. He scored 11 goals in his last 5 games. 4 assists added on. That's a 15.5 game swing. This guy's averaging 3 points a game in his last 5. He's averaging more than 2 points a game this season for this Florida Eels team. Shocking, this Eels player.
Absolutely. You know, it's numbers like that as I ignore Dan's finger guns
Electric
after that
eel.
mediocre pun. The numbers like that are definitely incredible.
Yep.
You know, he's definitely a guy that when he's on the ice, teams try to find him, but he's too slippery.
Luke is coming right back at me with an eel pun. And we want to talk about slippery. The offenses in this entire Premier Florida division are slippery. It's a lot of open ice. There's a lot of skill in both the Premier and Elite, but the Premier has speed and skill aplenty. The scoring is off the charts right now for every team, top to bottom in this Florida division. It's going to come down to offense. And when it comes down to offense, when a game comes down to offense, when a playoff series comes down to offense come the end of the year, what you look at, folks, is who has the top guy to put the puck in the back of the net. And right now, that's got to be Nikita Lopatin out of Moscow, Russia, playing for the Florida Eels. But he's not the only guy scoring, Lucas. I'm going to jump to the Tampa Bay Juniors here in second place. Right now, Tampa Bay Juniors, Palm Beach Hawks, both tied at 27 points. Tampa in second in a tie, but Palm Beach with 2 games in hand there. So really they're hanging in second place in a little better positioning. But Tampa's got David Medj, who's got 18 goals, 23 assists for 41 points. And you want to talk about his wingmate there? 3-game winners this year for Jory McWilliams. And the jury's out on this one, Lucas. He is incredible. This guy McWilliams has been McNasty. And he's been, I would say, like McDonald's, McWilliams, I'm McLovin' it. He's been great this year, Lucas. He's been top notch. This Tampa Bay Juniors team can score the best of them.
Absolutely. It's something that we've been watching a lot. It feels like every time we go back and check the stats on these teams, the goals for standing just keeps jumping by leaps and bounds. There's one thing that no one down there has a problem with. It's getting players in the right position, finding open passing and shooting lanes, getting pucks in the back of the net. We like to joke that that's what it's always about. The team who scores the most points is probably going to win the game. But in the case of these Florida teams, they're doubling down on that philosophy.
They really are, and you want to talk about doubling down. This next team, Lucas, do Hawks eat eels?
I suppose they could if they were in the same environment.
If you put them in the same food cycle there, maybe they could. But the Palm Beach Hawks are watching the Juniors and the Eels like hawks right now. And they got what I like to call the superheroes. And that's Oscar Thor, a 18-assist getting defenseman from Sweden, Gothenburg, Sweden, alongside Tommy Roger that. And Brandon Tracy, 39 points, Tommy Roger, 38 points. First of all, Brandon Tracy sounds like the alter ego of a superhero. Like he's wearing glasses during the day, but then like he's Superman at night. And he's Superman when he gets on the ice. He's got 39 points. Tommy Roger that, scoring 38 points. Some of the best names in hockey in the Palm Beach Hawks. You got to love this team.
Definitely. If you tried to draft players by names, I don't think you could do a better job than the Hawks have been doing. But as good as the names are, the play's been even better. You talk about numbers like that, especially assist numbers in a league and in a division and a bunch of teams that like to score goals. The assists are just stay right with them, and what that shows you that these guys are playing as a team. No one's going off on their own. No one's going off on a solo mission or in these superhero tropes, I'm going to go it alone. No one's doing that. They're all advancing forward as a team, working together to score goals.
These teams all in the Premier, it could go any way right now. You've got 3 teams in competition for it. You got the Florida Junior Blades who are starting to put it back together. You got the Daytona Racers who are looking to make a race late in this one. Great division so far at the Premier. Anybody's game right now. Not that time of year to make predictions yet, so let's go to the Elite. Lucas, the Elite. Run us through the standings right now in the Elite.
We got Tampa Bay Juniors in first at 14-6-1, Florida Junior Blades in second at 11-7, and the Palm Beach Hawks at 10-8-2. That's your 1, 2, and 3. Again, a lot of competition in those top 3 spots.
A lot of competition, and we look at the top team right now, the Tampa Bay Juniors. And these players might as well be playing on the senior circuit right now because they're playing great. And they're leading the way for them. They're 2 goaltenders. You got a guy at 6-3. You got a guy at 5-4 between the pipes. 6-3, Daniel Kortenhaus. 6-3, 1.75 goals against. You'd think, there's probably some drop-off when you take him out of the net. Nope, there is no drop-off at all. They may get even better when you put in our man Spike Perry Giannino. 5-4-0, 2.63 goals against, and this young man has a shutout to his name that he just put up recently. W's aplenty come from this Tampa Bay Juniors team. How important is it to have a team that starts from the back here? They start from the defense, start from the goaltender. That's where a lot of their great plays coming from in an offensive division like the South.
Well, it's great to see. I'm old school. If you see us at events, Dan's wearing red, white, and blue suits, and I show up looking like I'm running for public office. I'm an old school guy. I love to see defense. I think the way to win these games is to build from the back end, from the defense forward, especially important in a division and a region like Florida, when you've got these fast, skillful players and you see a lot of goals going in. If you can have goaltenders like the Juniors have and defense like the Juniors have, what you've built is confidence.
Yeah.
It allows the forwards to push on the forecheck. It allows them to set up. It allows the defensemen to even come into the zone and play a little bit more aggressively because they know if the worst happens and the other team gets a 2-on-1 or even a breakaway, the goaltender is going to have a great chance to stop it.
They have a great chance every time they go out there. You have good goaltending, you always have a chance to win. Goaltenders can win a game. You got to put one in the net, but when you got a great goaltender, you got a lot of time to do it. Moving to the Florida Junior Blades, they have a great goaltender too. This guy's out of Slovakia, young Patrick Lietava. He's 5-3-0. He's got a 2.19. He's got a shutout this year. And this past weekend is when that shutout came against the Florida Eels. These guys are starting to get better as the year goes on. You're starting to see if these goaltenders starting to kind of catch up to the speed of this Florida division. And you want to talk about speed in the Florida division, let's talk about Gage Dill. And he's not found himself in a pickle once this year, but defensemen, when they get matched up one-on-one on the break with him, they're in a pickle. They're in a real Dill situation. It's been Gage Dill, and he's been gauging the defense all season long and figuring out how to score. He's got back-to-back 2-goal games, 11 goals, 9 assists, 20 points this year. And he's got his Blades on a 4-game win streak because they're trying to march themselves back just 7 points behind this juniors team with a lot of time left in the season. Lucas, it's going to be fun in the elite. You got the Palm Beach Hawks, Florida Eels, and Daytona Racers all in this race. Everybody's involved. The playoffs are going to be fun. The postseason's going to be great. And they're still going to have to deal with the Southeast as well. The Southeast is going to be tough late in the year too. These teams all down south, a lot of great hockey going on, a lot of great offenses, a lot of great teams. Fun to watch.
Oh, absolutely. It's fun to watch all of these different areas of the country, all these different divisions play, especially when they're playing each other. I like what you said about them starting to learn. You have the 2 shutouts that just happened this past weekend. And that's pretty incredible. That goes to show you that these guys are not just getting in there and staying static and stationary. They are learning every single week. They're hitting the weight room in between weeks. They're getting the strength and conditioning. And then they're learning the mental side of the game, where these teams are shooting, what side they're favoring, the different strategies that they're using. And so I expect that this division is going to be a lot of fun to watch as we move down the stretch. Like you said, there's still plenty of time left.
Angles and rebound control, gentlemen. Let's go goaltenders. Florida's been full of goals. The whole South has been full of goals, Southeast and Florida divisions. Goaltenders, let's see you step it up these next couple of weeks. Dan K, Lucas Jones, when we come back, we're going to have what we're thankful for because it's a Thanksgiving edition, and then we'll come back with the empty net after that.
Not a yes sir, not a follower. Fit the box, fit the mold, have a seat in the foyer. Take a number. I was lightning before the thunder.
Hey USPHL fans, welcome to the fastest minute in hockey, the wraparound. It's time for an NCDC standings update this week on the wraparound. And Lucas, we got a new leader out of the clubhouse here, 18-1-0. The only loss with us on site, 36 points and 4 games in hand on the team tied with them, the Junior Bruins. It's the Islanders Hockey Club. How good have they been?
They've been great, Dan. The stat of that team is only 32 goals allowed. That is the lowest in the NCDC division.
Lucas, this team from defense to forward lines, the depth on this team is absolutely impeccable, stupendous, tremendous, incredible. They've been unstoppable. Sean Trombley's been happy about these guys. What he told us when we saw them last week, these guys compete, they compete, they compete. In practice, in the classroom, in the locker room, on the ice. They're competing every day. We watched them against the Rochester Monarchs. The Monarchs took it to them, tied up late, 2 goals in about 20 seconds with a minute left in that game. They take a late win. This team doesn't know how to lose. Junior Bruins in second place. They've played 23 games. They're 17-4-0, and they've got 2 OT losses, 36 points for them. The Jersey Hitmen, 17-7. They just suffered a loss to the Pal Junior Islanders on Wednesday of last week. Lucas, where's this Hitmen team at right now mentally?
Well, I think the Hitmen team, it's unchanged for them. They took a tough loss. Pal's got a great team. They're one of those teams that we've been saying all year. They're on the up and up. They are going to get there. This win shows 2 things to me. It shows that Pal puts together that game plan. They put 110% out there on the ice, and they win hockey games. They're a team that's going to be heading up, and it tells me that the Hitmen are still the Hitmen. They are a team, and we've watched them. We did 2 of their games at IHC, and they're a team that likes to adapt. They go in, and they understand what happened. They digest what happened out there on the ice, and then the next week they come out, and they are a completely different team with a completely different strategy, and they say, what worked, let's keep it. What didn't work, let's get rid of it and replace it with something else.
They've been incredible. Now let's move to 4th and 5th, which fall into the Lucas Jones love, Dan K love situation here. South Shore Kings, a Lucas Jones original right there at 15-4-3. This team under the radar, stupendous this year. South Shore Kings, a team that can play both sides of the ice. They can mix up their game as well. If you want to talk about a team that closely resembles that Hitman squad as well, these two teams, either one, can make a big run here late in this season. Then we go to 5th. My guys, the Connecticut Junior Rangers, hanging in 14-6-2. Johnny DeRoche up there near the leading scorers. And you got, I forgot to mention with the Hitman, Jeff Lacerdo's been incredible scoring-wise. Can't miss him and Alex Mosquera between the pipes. We watched him live as they took on the Northern Cyclones. We watched Mosquera beat the Northern Cyclones 6-5 in a big-time offensive battle. The Cyclones sit there behind the Junior Rangers in 6th place at 13-10 and won 27 points. This is a team that's really turned it around here.
Absolutely, and the Northern Cyclones, from what I've watched them this season, are such a good hockey team. They're fast, they're aggressive, and if their defensemen get the puck by the blue line, it is time to duck and cover. I don't even want to be in the same rink when a slap shot goes off the blue line.
That team loves to shoot it from the blue line. They love to make things happen with the deflections. They put bodies in front. Good luck goaltenders, because they are firing from all areas of the ice. Incredible job by their defensemen there offensively. Then you go to 7th and 8th. You got the Syracuse Stars and Pal Junior Islanders. Two familiar faces. Pal on the up and up here. They grabbed that win against the Hitmen on Wednesday. They split over the weekend. You got Caden Bailey in net coming in, making things happen. Where do you think this team goes here, Lucas? Do you think this is where it all turns around? They're sitting at 8-13-3, definitely not where they wanted to be right now. Does Pal turn it around right here?
Well, I think the offense is clicking for Pal. I think if anything, the defense is maybe where some improvements need to be made on the Islanders. But you said it yourself, Dan. The goaltending is great. The defense is great. All the pieces are there. Pal's one of those teams that maybe takes a little while to get into the swing of things, but once they do, they are really, really a team that is not to be trifled with. And you said, they have a win, they split a weekend. For Pal, it's one game at a time right now.
Yeah.
You just got to focus on one weekend at a time, making the adjustments you need to make. It's an extremely talented team. Very excited to keep watching them as we move towards the halfway point.
Really excited, and I'm most excited about a name here. You got two of your leading point getters here. Sky Silverstein, one of them, 3 goals, 9 assists. You got a lot of assist-getting guys right now. What Pal needs to find is they need to find the guys putting it in the back of the net. You have a lot of guys who are making incredible things happen. A lot of guys who are looking to make that perfect pass. Every once in a while, you just run into a situation where you're making one pass too many. And if you want to talk about great Pal lineage, let's talk a Division I elite scoring defenseman who won a Player of the Year award just 2 years ago, and that's Joey D. Joe Duzak. Joey Bag of Donuts, we used to call him last year because he used to bag goals. He scored in bunches from the blue line. This is what this team's looking for. Somebody's going to have to look at that old Duzak tape from 2 years ago. See a guy who's played at all levels of hockey on the ice, a guy who was a leader on and off the ice, a guy who was fun to watch, great personality. They need that Duzak. Lucas, how important is it to find those goal scorers and have the guys step up and put the puck in the back of the net for them?
Well, I think one thing that I've noticed from watching a lot of NCDC hockey this year is that the extra edge can sometimes come when you have a shooting defenseman, when you have that classic standing up by the blue line, stick up in the air, just waiting for the shot. It's a little bit more stereotypical. It's a little bit more toned down to have that everybody in the offensive zone, get the puck cycled around, find your player, take a shot, grab the rebound. It's definitely not flashy hockey.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I have seen it with my own 2 eyes, Dan, that kind of hockey can sometimes be the most effective.
It really can, and you want to talk, after that we go to the Rochester Monarchs, Boston Bandits, New Jersey Rockets, rounding out the remainder of the standings. And another team really turning it around here of late is the Rochester Monarchs. I've watched a few of their games over the past few showcases, past few trips we've taken. This is a team starting to give trouble to everybody, giving trouble to the Kings. They gave trouble to the IHC. They've given trouble to a lot of these big names at the top of the standings. They're just not getting those W's when they get there. This is a team that's going to push themselves over the edge. They've got Logan Clark, Chris Perna, Justin Allen, Austin Tonkovich. These guys are goal scorers. These guys are goal makers and goal creators. They're going to make big plays happen. They're going to put the pucks in the back of the net when needed. I think the Rochester Monarchs could reign supreme late. Rochester Monarchs, Pal Junior Islanders are sitting in those 8-9 spots right now. Watch out, folks. There's a lot of season left. We've got more than half a season left to play at this NCDC division. There's a lot of talent. There are a lot of guys who are, some of these teams have some of the younger guys right now that are really starting to get the skates under them at this level and starting to get hit a little harder. Some of the guys are bigger. Some of the people are more developed. They're going to be developing their game. The second half of the season is going to be stupendous, and I'm thankful for that. It's time to go talk about what we're thankful for. Hey Dan K Show fans, time to close the show out in our normal way with a little bit of a new twist. It's the Thanksgiving version of the Empty Net where Lucas and I will tell you the 3 things we are most thankful for this year. Lucas, thing number 1 for me, the Minnesota hockey fans we've picked up this year. The Moose, Blue Ox, and Mullets have some great followings out there in Minnesota, and they have been voicing themselves aplenty on Twitter. The Uncle Nasty Show. And how about Kosa Yusuf, who gave me an 1800s Turkish wrestler class on Twitter and taught me all about it, taught me about 1800s Turkish wrestlers, which makes me very upset because I'm a big follower of 1800s ESPN. ESPN 1800s, I'm a big time subscriber. It's been an incredible channel to watch. I should be watching more Turkish wrestling from the 1800s.
Well, Dan, while you're doing that, I'm going to be over here telling people that I'm thankful for the Dan K Show social media pages. And that's because that's the best place for everyone to reach out, and they have been reaching out. I'm looking over here at the Dan K Show Facebook page. Linda Moscara, Scott Sturgeon, Christoph Oliwa, John Jennings, Melendez Frank, Alexis Thompson from the New Hampshire Junior Monarchs who helped us set up that great event. And then you hop over to the Twitter page and we're getting messages from teams all across the country, players who want to talk to us. We've even had people email us saying, hey, the stats are wrong. We don't do the stats.
We're happy to try to help.
We're happy to try to help. We don't do the stats, but we're glad that you're reaching out to us with all of your questions and comments. We're very thankful for that.
And if you were keeping score at home over that, I'm just going to give a 1A thing that I'm thankful for. Lucas doesn't know about this one. But Melendez Frank, great job there, Lucas. I think it might have been Frank Melendez. I think his name might have come up backwards in the messages and threw you off a bit. If you were keeping score at home, that's -1 for Lucas on the
doubling
backwards
down on
name.
Mr. Frank.
Melendez Frank. I don't
Mr. Frank,
Mr.
thank you.
Melendez Frank. Thank you. I think it's Frank Melendez. I know it's Frank Melendez. Thank you, Frank Melendez, for watching and messaging us during our shows. My second thing that I'm thankful for, it's hard to remember now because I just got too much of a jolt out of that. Thing number 2 is I'm thankful for the Florida Junior Blades because we're going to be heading down to Florida and they're going to be showing us some Southern hospitality. They've reached out a bunch. You've got a ton of great people down with that organization down there making things happen for the Florida Junior Blades, led by Tia Priest, Coach Todd Pocock, just the entire organization down there, Lucas. Really thankful to have organizations like that create a family atmosphere and a professional atmosphere. They do it both. They give you that minor league, junior hockey league, family, billet family atmosphere. Also, they give you this is a legit junior hockey program that gets W's atmosphere. Love both of them. Thank you, Florida Junior Blades.
And on that note, I'm thankful for the teams up north. You've got great teams like the Ironwood Upers, all those Minnesota teams you were talking about, and especially out in Kalkaska. If you haven't had a chance to watch some of the media that the Rhinos have been putting out in terms of their media they put up on Facebook and also their game broadcasts, you should go to Hockey TV and watch what Christoph Oliwa has put together in terms of media. The score bugs, the camera angles, the wireless equipment. He is really putting a lot of effort into his media, and we are thankful for that because it makes our jobs a lot easier.
My third thing, if I could give you 100 things I'm thankful for, I would. My third thing is the parents, Lucas, the parents and the fans of these teams. We talk about the players all the time. We get a chance to do play-by-play. We get a chance to cover these teams. We get a chance to do broadcasts with these young players, interview them, and the parents always are reaching out, thanking us, and interacting with us, telling us how exciting it all is. The players create it for us. We are just out here trying to highlight it for them, and then the parents at home that are involved, that are watching. It's just incredible to see the passion from these fans and parents. I want to talk about the New Hampshire Monarchs traveling fan base. You got an incredible group up there led by Sonia, and you got Jumbo out there, the big guy going out there fishing. He could pick us both up and throw us in 2 hands across the room, but instead he's just a big bear who just wants to be friends with us. And I love the groups. I love everybody we gotten a chance to meet, from the folks in Charlotte and Hampton Roads to all the way out west in Eugene, to the Midwest folks, to the Northeast where you meet the IHC folks and you see the folks in South Shore, the folks everywhere throughout this country, this USPHL country. Folks, thank you so much, and we're so thankful for you all.
And my last thing, and to round out this segment, is that Dan and I are thankful for our families, our respective families. You have Mama Kimchek on Dan's side,
or Mama Dukes, as
Mama
she's
Dukes.
better known.
You have my mom Janice, who is always putting up with my nonsense and commenting on everything. Thank you, both of you, all of our friends and all of our extended family as well. We're thankful for family, and this Thanksgiving is a great opportunity to go down and visit them.
And if you're keeping score at home, that was a big miss by Lucas right there, because he didn't specifically mention producer Lena, my wife, who also helps produce the show behind the scenes and kind of put all of the aesthetics together for us, and the lighting and the camera work. She does a lot of extra work for us for nothing. She's really just helping out because she loves me, I hope. And we love her back. We're very thankful for her. And folks, if you watch us every week, a lot of it happening behind the scenes, and a lot of the artistic nature of the show coming from that end.
Absolutely. And one thing I like to say before we go to our traditional closing is, hi Lena, she's sitting right over there. Thank you.
She's staring daggers right now from off camera. And Lucas is now living a moment in my life for a few seconds. But we are so happy you watch. We're so thankful for everything. We joke around with each other. Lucas did not make 2 misses. Lucas has scored 1 million goals this year. I'm thankful for having Lucas alongside me. I'm thankful for you folks watching at home. And Lucas, I'm thankful for the parting words you're about to have right now. In the words of the great Mike Francesa, folks, if you've ever listened to Mike Francesa, he's going to be leaving the air in December. He's a big hero for folks up here in New Jersey. When he left for the holidays last year, I'm going to try to give a little bit of him. Folks, we hope you have a really good time, a happy Thanksgiving, eat a lot of turkey, and bye.
Dan, is she still looking at me?
She's still looking at you.
I don't want to look.
Don't move. Don't move. What I'll do, I'm gonna throw something that way. You just run for it.
Is her vision
Just
primarily
run for
based on movement?
It is. I think. Actually, no. She's actually Hawkeyes.
Oh, she's got
Hawkeyes. I mean, I'm the kind of, like, if I don't put a cup on a coaster,
Mhm.
boom, done. Stuff comes flying across the room.
All right. Well, maybe if you put a cup down on a table, I will use that moment to then run out the door.
Got it. Okay.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Go. Lena, he's running. He's running, Lena. Get him. Get him. Dan K Show. Keep watching.